My name is Richard Samuel. I'm the chairman of the board of directors here at the Port Alberni Friendship Center. I've been involved in the Port Alberni Friendship Center since I was little, as a toddler, in 1980. My parents were involved in the Friendship Center here, and so I tagged along with them, and I was a participant, and I grew up in this Friendship Center. The Port Alberni Friendship Center was established in 1965. Our first location was located on Second Avenue, at located on Second Avenue, and we outgrew that Friendship Center in the early 1980s, and we moved to our current location in 1986, and we've been growing ever since. We've had many programs here at the Friendship Center. We grew. We're still growing. We have many programs here. We have two satellite offices here in Port Alberni, which is called the NEWAS program, which is Infant Development Program for all the families here in Port Alberni. And right across the street from the NEWAS house is our wellness center, where it's also a family program where nurses come in and doctors to come and talk to meet with our community members. Like I said, I've been involved with this Friendship Center since I was a toddler, 2 years old. My parents brought me here as a participant, and then from then I grew up in this Friendship Center, and I was introduced to the Friendship Center worldview in I believe it was 1996 or 1997, where I attended the NAFC annual general meeting in Richmond, where I was elected as a national youth executive, and that's where I developed my leadership skills within the Friendship Center, and from there we developed a provincial Aboriginal Youth Council, where all the Friendship Centers brought a youth member to all the meetings, and we met beforehand. And when we were meeting, our provincial Aboriginal Youth Council, PACey, wanted to have more input at the board of directors meeting and at the AGM, and we were pushing forth for more opportunities to participate at the meeting. So at Smithers AGM for the BC Association, I can't remember what year it was, but that was the time when we brought forth to introduce 4 PACey members to be an active voice at the provincial board, and to have them a voting power there as well. I owe a lot to the Friendship Center movement for my leadership skills, not just here in Port Alberni. I was involved at the Victoria Native Friendship Center for about 4 or 5 years, and also at the BC Association of Aboriginal Friendship Centers for about the same time, where I always worked with Aboriginal youth at each Friendship Center I worked at, and especially at the provincial office, where I was the PACey coordinator for a time, and also worked with elders and the student bursary program. So I owe a lot to the Friendship Center. As being part of the Port Alberni Friendship Center, and also being an intergenerational member, I got a lot of guidance and from my father, Wally Samuel. He helped me a lot with understanding the people of the Valley, people of the British Columbia. It's not just our local centers that have issues that affect the community here in Port Alberni, but it's a broader aspect to the Friendship Center. It does help a lot of people. It helped myself a lot with being part of the Friendship Center. It developed me a lot of leadership skills towards me. The Provincial Aboriginal Youth Council, which I'll refer to as PACey, started at Smithers annual general meeting for the BC Association, which I believe was 1996 or so, where a group of youth from each Friendship Center came to the AGM, and we started discussing how much more involvement we can get into the bigger table with the board of directors and the General Assembly. And then from our discussions, we introduced a proposition to the board of having 4 votes to inclusive for Pacey to be involved in the board of directors meeting, and from there it just kept on evolving with Pacey. I've been very impressed of how right now the Pacey is evolved to, where they're expanded, not just involved in the Friendship Center movement, they're expanded into other areas such as the Urban Aboriginal Youth Council, which is all the youth across British Columbia, with the Métis and the First Nations, and with bringing back the Gathering Our Voices Youth Conference, which has been 10 years for now, and just, yeah. That's all. Where I see the Friendship Center movement in 40 years is still expanding, still being strong voice for urban Aboriginal people in British Columbia, and to have that strong voice to talk about their issues in their own community, with at-risk youth, with the critical things happening to the Aboriginal families in their own community. Still being strong in 40 years. Where I see myself in 40 years is still with this movement. This movement is very caring, very loving, and very, very fortunate to be a part of this movement, and that's where I see myself still involved within the Friendship Center movement. All right, what the Friendship Center means to me personally is a gathering place for people living away from home, from their home community, in an urban setting. The Friendship Center is a loving, caring community. The doors are always open for anyone who wants to come to the center, whether you're Aboriginal, non-Aboriginal. It's a loving community when you enter these doors.